Hello and welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the news from Saba Satellite Channel from Marib. Let's begin with the headlines.
PLC member Al-Alimi meets United Nations envoy and German ambassador to discuss peace efforts, reforms and security developments.
Rights Network documents over 24,000 Houthi violations in the Marib province.
United Nations report warns of escalating climate-driven displacement.
Welcome back. We begin tonight's broadcast with member of the Presidential Leadership Council, Abdullah Al-Alimi's meeting today with the United Nations Special Envoy to Yemen, Hans Garnberg, and the German Ambassador to Yemen, Thomas Schneider. The discussions focused on the latest political and humanitarian developments, the peace process, and ongoing government reforms.
During his meeting with United Nations envoy Dr. Al-Alimi reviewed the results of a Grand Prix recent consultations and reaffirmed the Council's and government's full support for the United Nations effort to achieve a comprehensive and just peace based on the three agreed open references including United Nations Security Council Resolution 2216.
He emphasized the need to intensify international and regional efforts to ease the humanitarian crisis caused by the Iran-backed Houthi militia and condemned the ongoing violations against UN and humanitarian staff, calling for the immediate and unconditional release and for the protection of all aid workers.
In a separate meeting, Dr. Al-Alimi discussed with Ambassador Schneider government reforms and efforts to stabilize the economy and improve public services. He praised the strong relations between Yemen and Germany and Berlin's long-standing humanitarian and development support, including the Aden Fishing Port project.
Dr. Al-Alimi also highlighted the Houthi threats in the Red Sea, describing them as a global danger that affects international trade and even the interest of Germany and its partners. He called for greater security coordination and support for the Yemeni Coast Guard. Ambassador Schneider reaffirmed his country's continued support for Yemen's peace, stability, and development in partnership with the Presidential Leadership Council and the government.
In Aden, the Minister of Foreign Affairs and Expatriate Shaya Al-Zindani met today with United Nations Special Envoy to Yemen, Hans Garnberg. During the meeting, the two sides discussed the latest developments in United Nations efforts to end the war and achieve lasting peace in Yemen.
Minister Zindani reaffirmed the government's full support for the UN envoy's mission and called on the international community to increase pressure on the Houthi militia to comply with UN Security Council resolutions. For his part, Envoy Hans Garnberg briefed the minister on his recent discussions and meetings held within the framework of ongoing UN efforts to achieve peace and stability in Yemen and across the region.
In the Republic of Djibouti, President Ismail Omar Guelleh received Dr. Waid Badib, Minister of Planning and International Cooperation and Acting Minister of Telecommunications and Information Technology. President Guelleh conveyed his greetings to President Rashad Mohammed Al-Alimi and reaffirmed Djibouti's support for bilateral understandings between the two countries. Ministers of telecommunications aimed at enhancing technical and professional cooperation.
Minister Badi briefed the Djiboutian president on bilateral relations and joint projects, particularly in information and communications technologies, highlighting the two countries' shared interest in developing an integrated strategic partnership. He also conveyed President Al-Alimi's greetings and appreciation to President Guelleh, praising Djibouti's consistent and brotherly support for Yemen. The meeting was attended by senior officials from both sides, including Yemen's ambassador to Djibouti, Abdullah Muslim, and Djibouti's ministers of communications and foreign affairs.
And in related developments, in Berlin, Minister of Water and Environment Tawfiq Al-Sharjabi held talks with Dutch Deputy Minister for International Cooperation, Stephen Collett, on several joint projects and climate initiatives.
Discussions covered the Aspat desalination project, funded by the World Bank and coordinated with Delft University, as well as the Aden desalination project, which will begin with a pilot plant producing up to 20,000 cubic meters of water every day. Financed by the Green Climate Fund with a total cost of $63 million. The meeting also addressed the Wadi Hajar project, currently under coordination, and focused on capacity building programs with Delft University and Saudi Arabia to strengthen national expertise.
Both sides agreed to activate Yemen's nationally determined contribution support program, enhance access to international climate funds, and coordinate with World Bank and European Union to advance water and climate projects, including completing agreements for the Aden pilot desalination plant.
In Aden, Minister of State and Governor Ahmed Lemles met with a Dutch government delegation led by Wani Val, first Secretary for Water Resources, to discuss enhancing cooperation in improving the city's water and sanitation corporation. Talks focused on infrastructure challenges, expanding services and providing technical and administrative support through joint programs.
Governor Lemles praised the strong Yemen-Netherlands relations and the support to Aden water sector, affirming the local authorities' commitment to strengthen these partnerships to serve community needs. The Dutch delegation expressed readiness to continue supporting Aden's water projects and provide technical and advisory assistance to improve service delivery and sustainability. The meeting comes as part of broader efforts to enhance international partnerships and advance public service development in Aden.
Still in Aden, where Deputy Minister of Foreign Affairs and Expatriates Mustafa Nu'man met with Saeed Hassi, head of the OCHA, to discuss enhancing cooperation and improving humanitarian assistance in Yemen. The meeting addressed the impact of Houthi violations, including the closure of UN offices and detention of aid workers, which disrupted relief operations. Both sides reviewed humanitarian priorities, focusing on the support for affected regions and sustainable development projects.
Nu'man emphasized bridging funding gaps, ensuring a transparency, and reaffirmed the government's commitment to facilitating humanitarian work. For his part, Hersi praised the government's cooperation and reiterated OCHA's commitment to strengthen partnerships and improve aid programs, especially in food, health, and water sectors. The meeting comes as part of Yemen's broader cooperation with the United Nations to promote recovery, stability, and development.
In Jeddah, the Yemeni Ministry of Endowments and Guidance signed an agreement with Diyuf Al Bayt Company to provide services for Yemeni pilgrims during the upcoming Hajj season. The agreement was signed by Mukhtar Al-Rabash, Undersecretary for the Hajj and Umrah sector, and Osama bin Abdul Latif Abu Al-Ala, CEO of Diyuf Al Bayt, in presence of Minister of Endowments and Guidance Mohammed Shabib.
The accord builds on general Hajj agreements previously signed between Yemen and Saudi Arabia to organize pilgrim affairs, facilitate procedures, and enhance cooperation in fast supervision and service delivery at the holy sites. Al-Rabash expressed appreciation to Saudi Arabia for its dedicated efforts in serving pilgrims, noting that the agreement is part of Yemen's early preparations to ensure smooth and highly quality services for its pilgrims. The Saudi side hailed the strong coordination with the Yemeni Hajj mission, describing the agreement as a continuation of a successful partnership in managing pilgrim services.
In Damascus, Yemen's Chargé d'Affaires Mohammed Bakr met with Isam Al-Qaryuti, chairman of the Damascus Chamber of Commerce, to discuss strengthening economic and trade cooperation between the two countries. Talks focused on supporting the private sector, removing obstacles to business activity, and expanding trade exchange through joint events and business delegations.
Bakr praised Syria's efforts and the historic ties between the Yemeni and Syrian peoples, affirming Yemen's commitment to deepening cooperation. For his part, Al-Ghirwati confirmed Syria's readiness to facilitate Yemeni investments and to reactivate the Yemeni-Syrian Business Council to enhance bilateral partnership. The meeting reflects the growing efforts to revive trade and investment links between Sana'a and Damascus.
In the Mar Governorate, the Yemeni Network for Rights and Freedoms has documented 24,827 violations committed by the Iran-backed Houthi militia between January 2015 and November 2025.
According to the report, the violations included killings, abductions, torture, forced disappearances, looting and child recruitment, along with the destruction of homes, mosques and public facilities. At least 536 civilians, including 53 children and 37 women, were killed, while nearly 300 others were injured. The report also reveals 689 civilians still detained and 26 secret and public prisoners established in the militia in Damar.
It further recorded the recruitment of 4,781 children, with over 2,000 killed on battlefronts. The militia also carried out 274 cases of torture, 18 cases of sexual assault, and 39 house demolitions. The network called on the international community to pressure the Houthi militia to end its systematic violations and to hold its leaders accountable for war crimes committed against civilians.
In our top international stories tonight, a new report by the United Nations High Commissioner for Refugees has revealed that 250 million people have been displaced within their own countries over the past decades due to the weather-related disasters, an average of 70,000 people every day. The report warns that the climate shocks are pushing already fragile communities to the brink of collapse, undermining recovery efforts and increasing humanitarian needs and risk of repeated displacement. UNHCR also cautioned that many areas could soon become uninhabitable as extreme heat and humidity combine into what it described as deadly mix threatening millions around the world. The agency called for urgent global action to strengthen climate resilience and protect vulnerable populations from future disasters.
We are in an unbelievable place. Our home isn't what it was. Floods, cyclones, droughts are unforgettable chapters in people's lives. And refugees who fled war and conflict are among those hardest hit by extreme weather and a changing planet. When the rain comes and the land dries up, there's nowhere left to go. But we need to believe that we can do something about it and take action. Stop asking, how do they outrun the storm? And instead, give refugees the tools to weather it, to beat back the deserts with trees, to use early warnings so people are not caught off guard by disaster, to turn on a light that no storm can take out, to take a seat at the table with those on the front lines. In a world where the unbelievable has become the new reality, we need to believe that there is a way forward.
This has been the news from Saba Satellite Channel from Marib. Thank you for watching and have a good time.
Have a good time.